take this how you want. Do not marry broke.
Hello.
Don't marry broke.
I've always said money, 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 money.
Broke is a mentality.
And money.
And money too.
Hi, my name is Shanse, and welcome to Selfish Parenting, the podcast that gives you permission to be, well, a little selfish while raising incredible children. This is where we are going to flip everything you've been told about parenting upside down. Have a seat, relax, and enjoy the show, y'all. So many couples dream of building something together, but I want to ask you a very important question. How do they do it? How do you manage to build a dream life together, a business together, while not destroying each other? I am so excited for today's podcast because we have someone that I personally admire and love. We have Miss Colette here with us, someone who has managed to not only build an impressive social media presence for herself, but her daughter as well, run a business with her husband, and still continue to look good, be a wife, be a mother. Hello, Colette. Welcome to Selfish Parenting.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be, and thank you for that introduction. I just feel, so hot and spicy.
And you are.
Thanks,
and
girl.
you are. You look good. You look
I
amazing.
feel good.
You guys, we did not plan our outfits today. If you're watching,
We're just connected.
Yeah.
We're connected.
No, for you guys who don't know, so I met Colette. When did we meet?
It's all online.
Online
so you're like my
first.
online girlfriend.
Yeah. It was something.
But I feel like I've known you though.
Right.
For
You
years.
feel like, I think it happens with that a lot. It's like your coworkers, but you work virtually. I think that's what I like to explain it as. Like, we're coworkers who work virtually. So like, we talk together, we see each other,
Yeah.
we're supporting each other, but never get to meet in person.
Right.
But now we both live in Charlotte. So get to
Nice.
hang out together a little bit more.
I love
and
it.
I want to even just give Colette a minute to introduce herself. But before I let her do that, I just want to tell you, I am always so I admire the way you have handled not only your account, but your presence, how you stay so real and relatable. Let us know, how did that come about? How did Miss Colette come to be Miss Colette?
Oh, honey, it's a long story. No, I'm joking. Well, thank you so much, and I admire you as well. I love you. Are my girl, and it's so funny because social media was never supposed to be part of my story. I've only ever had a private Facebook page up until 5 years ago.
5?
Yeah, I never had. And my friends would pick me up all the time. You don't have Instagram? I'm like, what do I need Instagram for? I have Facebook.
What?
And then I'm learning, especially during the pandemic, social media more. We had it for our business, but not for me to use as a personal page for fun. I never actually had a personal one. Yeah, and it was during the pandemic, I decided, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my life was really revolved around, like, my family, like my husband, my daughter. And my husband always said, what do you want to do? What is it, something that you... And I was like, I'm just really good at being a wife and a mom. And he's like, no, there's so much more to you than that. And in my head, I was like, that... Right?
Come on, husband.
He saw the
Baby,
vision.
that's a husband.
He knew.
Okay.
And I was like, he came with all these ideas. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm fine where I'm at right now. And that's the season I was in. And then I learned about social media, and it's fun not knowing that you can make money online.
Hello.
I just knew that YouTubers made money online. Because remember, this is 6 years ago, and someone that I'm 40. We didn't grow up with Instagram.
First of all,
we didn't grow up with social media.
Stop lying, girl. We know you in your 20s.
I mean, I was,
girl.
I was just on my Facebook.
You right? You did say Facebook.
I was on my college Facebook.
That should tell us something.
That's about it.
You're right. You're right.
But I said, this would be fun, and I learned more about it, and I was like, wait. There are certain things that I am good at. I can do my daughter's hair. I can cook a little bit. Girl, I ain't not gonna cook.
Right.
But there's, I know how to dress my body type.
And you do.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what if I just show those things and just be myself and just see what happens? And then it went from just for fun to now a full-fledged business.
How amazing is that? You mentioned you and your husband's business. What was your business prior to that?
So before that, we own two businesses together. QC Booths, which is a photo booth company in Charlotte.
Amazing.
And QC Lights, which is a marquee light business. So we started that the year that we got married. 10 years ago. Because we just had our 10th anniversary yesterday.
Okay, I'm sorry. Back up. The year you got married, your husband and you... How exactly does that happen? How do you get married? You're like, let's start a business. Like, whose idea? How did that come about?
So when I met my husband, we were both 29. And he had this vision board. I'm going to tell you, my husband, he be having a vision.
I love a man with a vision, honey.
I've never been to a guy's house with a vision board with like things actually. Yeah, that's crazy.
Incredible.
It's amazing. So he told me, he said, by the time I'm 35, I want to be self-employed full time. Wow. And I'm like, okay, me too. Like, I love that for you and for us. You know, but it's me just meeting him. I'm like, okay, let's see. But the good thing about him is like, yes, he's a visionary, but he knows how to set up a game plan. He does not have this idea and just, well, we'll see what happens. No. He makes it happen. We had a party at our house. We were engaged. We had a Christmas party, and I made this really fun backdrop. And I literally got this picture frame from the Goodwill. I spray painted it. Yeah. And we all took pictures in front of this backdrop. And everyone loved it. And it was so much fun. Then we went to a wedding. There was, those really cheapo photo booths. But it was still so much fun. And he's like, you know what? What if we start a photo booth company? And I'm like, photo booth company doing what? Like, you can make enough money to pay the bills with the photo booth company. He's like, on the West Coast, they have luxury photo booths where the quality of the pictures are excellent. The printout, the quality is it's just so high quality. And he's like, but we don't have that here. But we have the people, we got the NFL players, we got the NASCAR. The money is here. Right. But it's just tapping into it. People love parties and people love social media and sharing their pictures and all that. And he's like, and I think that we can do really well doing it. And you know me, let's do it.
Come on, man.
And I was like, and we did it.
Wow.
And it's been 10 years since we've been in business. Our first event was actually our wedding.
That's incredible.
Our wedding was our first event.
That's absolutely incredible. I'm just I don't know if everyone has the ability to listen to their husband say, I have a dream, I have a vision, and not only support them, but be a partner in that. Oh, yeah. How does that look like for you guys? Like, how are those nights? How are those conversations?
So in the beginning, it was really tough because we didn't know what we were doing. We both were self-employed. We were both working in banking, and on our time off, I was working the business, and he was also refereeing. So we didn't get any loans to start. He was refereeing on the side every weekend, and the money that he made, he put it towards us buying our first photo booth.
Wow.
So there was no loans, no debt, and we just worked really hard towards it, but we didn't know what we were doing. And because of that, there were a lot of late nights, a lot of disagreements, I would say, because it's like, he don't know what he's doing, I don't know what he's doing, just you're clashing, but not to the point where it's like, this isn't going to work. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work. So the beginning was the hardest, but we learned how to communicate effectively and to learn what we're good at. So he's more like techie, logistical, all that logistics and all that. I'm more like free spirit, creative, So
she's like, I know my role.
I know my role. So those two things do work well together when it's when the right person is doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I find it interesting when people ask couples like, how does a late night work? Because I just asked you, but in reality, it's never a one shoe fits all. No. And it's never my late night was like this, so every night is like this. It's more of it's a struggle. It's a learning curve. And I think you're newly married, you're learning marriage, you're learning becoming a business partner. Did that present a challenge of its own? Because, first year of marriage, like we just got married. How long did you guys date before getting married?
We dated a year and a half.
Right. So you guys are newly together.
We're still newly together. Yeah, we didn't date for very well. We got engaged. 2 months later, we were married. We was like, let's do it.
So newly married, newly starting a business. Like, what are the challenges that you would say you were like, this is marriage challenge or this is business challenge? Did you have a hard time differentiating between the challenges?
Yeah, because we were still learning each other. So you have to think about it. A year and a half, 2 years in, we love each other. We know this is what we want. We know this is how we want it to happen. But one thing I think that we had to learn was how to communicate. He and effectively. So communicating isn't just like talking, right? Just saying what my needs are. But how do I have to say it to him where he can hear me? Not without complaining, without, so it's and so you have to do it a certain way. And even for him, it's like, if you want to tell me something, be direct. Don't say the same thing. Tell me directly. So we had to learn how I like to be communicated with and vice versa. And we just had to learn that. And also like just being honest and sharing things. There have been nights where he'll be up and he's like, I cannot figure out how to do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, it's 2:00 in the morning. Come to bed. And it's like, show me. Yeah. What is it? And I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Yesterday, I literally saw a video on how to do this. And I would fix it. He's like, oh, my gosh. So we had to learn, we don't hold on to stuff for too long. If you can't figure out something, don't waste no time. Share it with me. You may not think I know how to do it, but I may go on this. And it's just certain things that we had to learn what we're good at and then communicate effectively.
Did you guys have outside help when you said learning how to communicate effectively? Or was it just like me and you figure this out?
Oh, we had to figure it out. Yeah. We were going to go through marriage counseling, but girl, we had no money. And
it's expensive out
our
there.
church, we thought it was free. And they wanted to charge money. We don't have money for marriage counseling.
Hold on. church charges you
Some
for marriage
churches charge you
counseling?
for marriage counseling, yes. So we were gonna do it.
Excuse me?
I know we couldn't afford. I was like, well, we know we got the Lord on our side. We just gonna use Him.
Am I the only one learning of this?
No, I didn't know. I thought it was free. But the
Girl,
church we were at, no, not the church we was at. It was not free. So we were like, the thing I will say, and one thing I learned is like, one thing we did learn from the church is the power of like prayer, not just like holding hands, praying in your head. We pray out loud. So you pray for what I want for him, what I see for him, and then he prays for that back.
So he hears your prayers for him. Oh, I like that a lot.
It's
almost
verbal.
like speaking positive, like
life.
A life into each other. Because honestly, I'm thinking about all the prayers I have for my husband. If I prayed him out loud, he'd think I like him or something.
Well, you do.
He think I love him or something. I like that. I'm definitely gonna implement that.
The Lord, girl, the Lord.
Yes, it's like another way of like like I don't want to say praise, but like showing love and gratitude to your partner.
Absolutely, and you have to learn because I came from my dad was married like 4 times. His father was married, So we didn't have like these solid relationships to show us the way. Was each other and the Lord.
I'm actually really glad you said that because I'm gonna have to implement that
out loud.
Out loud. Pray for my man out loud.
Say it out loud and say it with like next to you. And then I really feel like when I pray certain things over him, it's not that he wants to fix it, but he's like it's almost like you acknowledge it within yourself. Does that make sense?
I see. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, absolutely. It's almost like when your partner tells you all the positive affirmation,
absolutely,
with a little kick to it because it's a prayer, a little spirit oil or something. That's incredible.
Yeah. So we've been doing that from the very beginning.
I love that. And I'm still shocked like church is making us pay for marriage counseling. Jesus would never. Jesus gave free bread and wine.
It should be free. I don't know why it charged, and we didn't go outsource because we're like, well, if another church, we just didn't have money for that.
Yeah, and like, why would you go to another church?
That's the church we go to. And I remember the price, and I was like,
makuta ya mingi sana.
We didn't have money for it.
Wow.
Yep. So
these churches.
Yeah.
Wow. That's news to me.
They sure was.
You learn something new every day.
We just gonna have that Lord on our side.
During this time, like you're newly married, you're trying to find counseling, you're doing all of this. Did you ever feel like you had to choose between your business and your marriage at any given time?
No, because our marriage is always first. That's the thing with people. Sometimes you get married and like you grow these things, and the things become bigger than you, become bigger than your marriage. There's nothing bigger than our marriage.
Amen.
Because that's like the foundation of it all. Everything kind of has to either align with it or come right underneath it. And there's been times where, like, for instance, I know you with seasons, November, December is our busy season. It's content creators. And it's also my husband's busy season because everyone's having the parties, all the celebrations and all that. So we know that in those months, not saying our marriage comes next to it, but we know we're all in.
It's grind mode.
And then like we just had our little staycation at the Ritz the other day.
Oh,
then you come back.
Was had, honey.
You know
what time was had.
It was beautiful,
girl.
So you just learn to balance like the needs, but marriage always first.
And what does that look like for you when you say marriage first? I think we often hear marriage first, but how does that look like for you? How do you and your husband implement that marriage first in your life?
Now, it is a work in progress.
Amen.
So now, and my husband, he's so wonderful. So he really tries to plan like the dates.
Yeah.
And even if it's like we can't go out on a date because we have little children, it's like we're going to go for a walk. I'm like, you want to go for a walk?
Yeah.
So we're going for a walk. And I was like, okay. And then we'll go to a coffee shop. So it's learning that like dates doesn't always have to be like you're getting dressed up and hot. And sometimes it's just putting your tennis shoes on and going for a 30-minute walk with your husband just to talk. And
I love that.
And I've learned like even when we had a little staycation, just that time to talk about what do you want for yourself? What do you want for us? We have these big goals, these big dreams. And sometimes if you don't communicate effectively, what you may see for the dream is not what he sees for the dream. But it could take that walk in the park to communicate that. It could take going to a coffee shop. It could take, so for us, it's just the time and knowing that we just went through our busy season, so we haven't had that recently, but it's getting back to it and setting intention.
Hello.
Even now we're like when we left our staycation, we're like twice a year, we're going to do something together. We're going to do a staycation and go somewhere. But you have to, when you're busy like this, you have to make time for it.
You said staycations, and I don't know, I'm a staycation girly through and through. With kids, like that can be very difficult. Do you guys have help? How do you guys get time?
We don't have a lot, and that's another issue. We don't really have family here. So our friends have become our family. So like my girlfriend came and she stayed with my kids for the couple nights, and we're not ready to leave them for far yet because my son is only 2. But asking the help from your friends, and my friends have become my family. So I have to just get the help when I can get it, and without abusing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like tough. Learning to be like, and here's a month's notice. Yeah. You have to just plan for it, especially if you don't have grandma next door. Hello. Well, you don't have nothing. Right. So you have to pay. You got to pay for it, and you got to plan it.
How do you ask? I know a lot of people struggle with asking for help, especially as parents. I've learned, and this was me too, even when I had family, I learned very early on that I'm not good at asking for help if I'm not paying for it, because I don't want anyone to feel like a burden, right? I don't want to feel like a burden. And I'm also like, I want to be respectful of people's times, especially child-free people. I value your time. I don't want you to feel as if your time is, not respected. So how do you go about kind of breaching that I don't like asking for help?
I had to learn really early on when I had my daughter, because I thought, and we didn't have any family within like 3 hours from us. Wow. My neighbor, she was really wonderful. She, I didn't ask because I assumed that because I'm her mother, that I'm supposed to be able to take care of her at all times. Yep. That I was created to be able to just, my job was to only take care of her. Then I realized, well, I'm not having a mental breakdown. My hair falling. Like, what's happening with me? Because you're actually not supposed to be able to do. That's why the village. Like people always talk about, you're not supposed to be able to take care of your kids by yourself. I don't care what nobody says, and I had to learn that early on. And now it's like, and then when I had my son, I had a rotation. I said, okay, here are 10 friends. What day would you like? And here's what you can bring on this day. And then I have them all come over to help me clean up my house and prep for my kids. That. But I had to learn that. And the thing about it, when you have friends that have kids, they get it. So this time, I would literally a rotation. Every 2 days, there was someone at my house. Either bringing me food. Here,
that's amazing.
I'm going to take a shower and wash my hair. You can just cuddle him because he's
such a cuddler.
He's just sweet. I mean, he's something. But especially when he was a little older, so juicy, it was wonderful. But you have to learn early on, and also you pay for the help. Yeah. When people come watch my kids, I don't care how close we are paying you. Because your time is valuable to us. You deserve money for that.
I actually have not heard many people talk about paying family members who come watch their kids. And it really boils back down to people don't often value things that women primarily do. People don't value taking care of children because as a mother, you're supposed to. People don't value friends coming to give you that extra village because as a woman, you're supposed to. No one expects their best male friend to come help the dad postpartum. Yeah. I don't know how many male friends come over after a dad had a baby. Obviously, the mom had a baby, but he's also there postpartum. Yeah. I don't know how many dad friends come to check on the dad, bring him something. That's not an expectation for them. Mm-hmm. It's expectation for women. Right. And not many people value women's labor enough to be like, you're a friend of mine. You're watching my kids. You still deserve to be compensated for your time. Absolutely. I loved hearing that. I genuinely have not heard that for many people. Absolutely. I really haven't.
If you're going to spend the night with my child, and I know that there's other things you can be doing. Absolutely. You have to drive to my house and watch my kids. Expect a nice payday from that.
Period. And at least offer. Because people are like, oh, my family wouldn't want to. Did you offer?
Right. If you don't want to, I can't make you not take my money. Right. But I'm definitely going to put it in your hand. Now, if you put it back in my hand and we fight about it, I'm not going to fight about
not too long now. You got one time. No.
I'll keep it.
You ain't gonna tell me twice, honey. I got kids. I got bills.
That's what I'm about.
Right? I'm getting coffee. Hello? You think you're gonna fight me? People be like,
no money, honey.
My sister and I were out, girl, and she was like, I got it. I said, okay. You really
not gonna fight about
I will offer one time. I am not the type to fight about paying. If you are, good for you, but I will offer one time. They'd be like, oh, I'll take care of it.
That's it.
And you will. I will offer one time. Check comes. Here's my card. Oh no.
That was your opportunity.
Thank you. You ain't gotta tell me twice my money. Baby. No. You know what's so funny? People say African women are like known for wanting money. And somebody once told me that like as an insult, they were like, well, African women are known for liking money.
What's wrong with that?
I said, and I do?
What's wrong with
Was there
money?
A question? right.
I love money.
Does money rule my world? No. Do I love it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's what pays for the
What are we talking about? I was like, girl, please. Now, speaking of money, right? Money is something that you make, obviously, when you have a business together. Do you ever feel the pressure of just constantly working, especially when you're married, you're working together? When do you turn it off? When do you say, I'm done working and now we're just us?
Oh my gosh. Yes. And it's funny that you say that because we had to have a conversation about that recently where my husband was like, I don't want you to, like, the way I operate is every year, how much more money can I make?
Yeah, baby.
How much more money can I make? How much better can I get? And my husband's like, well, the last 2 years I did good. That's good enough. And I'm like,
I love that too.
And I'm like, no, we can make more. But that's for my personal business. And for him, I'm like, if you're comfortable and he's very content with what he has, and he's like, I don't want you to feel like you have to always work so much hard to make so much more money, even though we're fine.
Yeah.
But I've always been like, I won't say overachiever, but like big goals.
Come on now.
What else can I do? I know there's more.
Yeah.
And my husband's always like, well, this is enough.
I love that.
And then I have to realize like it is enough. Or you can work smarter and not so hard. You can maybe make more money without working so hard, but you're gonna have to figure out how to do it. But we're not up for the we're working so hard.
Grind mode every time.
You can't.
I think it's also you can't keep that up. You're right. Like for me, it's when to determine grind mode versus I'm not in grind mode right now.
Right.
I think it's like, those yearly meetings where we look at where we are, we look at the goals for a year, and it's like, okay, what are our biggest goals this year, and what do these goals require? Do these goals require grind mode, or these goals require maintenance? And if it's a maintenance, I'm relaxing. We've had a year where it's like, kids are this age, this is our goal financially, this is grind mode year. Got it. Cool.
And do you want to do that? You may not want to grind out this year. But if you had to grind so much last year and this year is like, actually, if we can just make what we made,
I'll be happy.
That's okay.
I'll be content. You know what?
You'll never be content. It could be $500,000. It could be $1 million. And next year it's $2 million. Then it's $5 million. It's just always.
If you're always chasing more, I can understand why. And also, one thing I've learned, and I think my financial advisor was telling me this, it's like most people make more money but actually lose money the more they make. Yeah. Obviously, the whole make more money, upgrade your life thing. But it's also by chasing more and more and more, you find yourself spending more and more and more because it costs money to make money.
Absolutely.
Majority of the time, right? And as content creators, the way I've kind of seen that translated, it's like you reach a certain point in your content creation journey and you're like, I want the bigger house.
Right.
I want the more aesthetic
I want a nicer car.
I want the nicer car. Or I want
everything
the
has to be
bag.
upgraded.
Everything has to be upgraded.
I mean, I'm like that a little bit.
Girl.
But then I got a husband that's like, you don't need a new car. You know why? Because you don't actually even drive anywhere.
But my God, God forbid I want a
Mercedes,
an Audi.
Right?
Honestly, the only thing that saves me is I get attached. I am attached to things. My car's name is Stiletto. Stiletto.
You are crazy.
No, Stiletto is my 2022 Volkswagen and Atlas. And I got Stiletto when I got the girls, right? And it was my dream mom car at the time. Yeah. I loved everything about Stiletto. I attached Stiletto with the time that I brought my girls, and I don't want to get rid of Stiletto ever. And I don't have another dream car. And it's hilarious because Julian's like, Stiletto being here for a minute, we've driven her up and down. That baby got like 100 and something miles in it.
Yeah.
We take her to Canada. We go on road trips. Yeah. Like, my thing is, Stiletto is still Stiletto to me. Drives fine. Still new to me in my eyes.
Right.
I haven't had even time to look and dream of another car. And it's so funny because he will literally be like, we need another, 4-seater or whatever. Anything in mind? No.
I have what I want.
I like it. Yeah. I'm good. I'm so attached. And it's not because there aren't other nice cars. Yeah. I'm just attached.
Yeah.
House, clothes, same thing.
See, and I'm opposite. Attached. I'm not attached at all. Like I was like the car that I got is actually my push present from when I had my daughter. So my car is almost 8 years old. Girl. It works fine. Now I have no car payment. Now I'm attached to no car payment.
And now I'm attached to that too, honey.
But then I'm like, we have no car. We haven't had a car payment in 2 years. Like, let's upgrade. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because I've always wanted this type of car. He's like, but you only drive to the grocery store. And then I started thinking about, and then you know what he does to me? Yeah. Here's what he does. Let's go look at them. So we'll go and look. And I'm like, these cars cost $80,000?
Like,
the car payment is $2,000? I don't want no car.
Girl, it's never that serious.
Who wants to pay? People are paying that much money for cars.
I didn't know, girl.
A month?
A month? Girl, the
Let me
most
leave my no car payment.
the most I'm willing to give you is about a good 300.
That's what they used to cost.
That's what mine used to be, like around 300 or something.
That was like, how old are your kids? 5, 6?
Yeah, 6. The girl just turned 6. That was about 6 years
like
ago.
That no more.
Oh,
so
they're
now
charging
that I
an
know
arm
what
and
it
a
costs,
leg.
I'm like, actually, I can use that money to
do something else, girl. They're charging an arm and a leg for a car.
We go to Mexico.
Hello? A nice little result. A little massage.
Or a car payment.
You know what? Let me not lie. Because what I'm attached to is a good little luxury experience. Baby, I will give you all my money.
All my money.
For a spa day, for a nice hotel
Bottle
stay.
of wine.
You can keep the bag.
Massage.
Hell, my.
Facial.
Oh.
I will just, and that's what I've had to learn. It's like, I don't necessarily need everything to be upgraded. I need to think about, just be thankful for what I have. And then use the money for
because I know what I can't live without. And I can't live without. I know if we are traveling together and the hotel doesn't start with a 5, leave it. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Who wants to stay here?
If that hotel, and I'm not even being bougie, but I need the concierge.
Absolutely.
That concierge must be there. I must call downstairs and say hello.
And if it doesn't have a robe, just forget it. I don't want to stay there.
Forget about it. I need a robe. I need a concierge. I need to be able to have them come massage me in my room or at a massage place. Or else forget about it. Leave me at home.
Agreed.
Leave me at home. I refuse. And that's it. Now, does it have to be a luxury bag? No, girl. I could go anywhere and get a bag. And that's, we all learn what we care about, especially as moms. Like, we have kids. We know that obviously we have to prioritize saving money and whatever, right? Because we got kids. I am so interested to learn about how you went about, first of all, creating an account that, 3 million followers now?
On TikTok.
On TikTok and then Instagram. And how did you even come about your account with your daughter? How did that happen? I know social media is funny and happens so quickly, but how did that happen?
It really was about timing, honestly. So I started her page 5 years ago during the pandemic. I was a stay-at-home mom. And for fun, one thing I realized is like, when you go on social media, and this is 5 years ago now, you didn't see a lot of like brown skinned girls with afro hair. You just didn't see a lot of that. And I'm like, where are the kids at online?
I want an example.
The cute kids that look like me. Yeah. They got the kinky hair. Where the braids? Where's all that at? Oh. And I was like, my daughter, to me, of course, she's so beautiful. She has such a big personality. She's just all those things. I was like,
absolutely.
I'm going to start her a little page. Because I used to love watching, especially like with the hair tutorials. I love watching those. I'm like, I'm going to start her a page. It's going to be called Cami Fro Babe. We made it up in my living room. Me and my sister and my husband. Just for fun. I'm like, maybe she'll be on like, those like, for like the mall, they have like those little magazines with like dillers with the little kid modeling in their little outfit. I was like,
so cute.
Maybe she can be her afro in like the dillers outfit. Wow. And that would be fun, right?
The importance of representation.
Right. And I was like, I just don't see it enough. And then my cousin was like, so he's much younger. He's like almost 15 years younger than me. He's like, oh, TikTok. And I'm like, what is TikTok?
You're like, who is TikTok?
Right. What is that? And I looked it up. I was like, oh, no. I said, we can't dance. And then it was all
That's
dancing.
what it was. It was a little bit of dancing.
It was all dancing.
Yeah, that was TikTok back in the days.
Pranks.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not who
me.
We are.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you always like you do her hair, show her hair, just show her being herself. And I was like, well, I could do that because I take videos of her all the time.
That's my phone.
All the time.
It's just them.
So I started posting it for fun. And then I was like, oh, you know what? A lot of people ask me about her hair because she has really thick, beautiful hair. So it's like, maybe I can show the girls, how to do a ponytail or some braids. Wow. And I started sharing that. And I started sharing just enough about her personality that was cute.
Oh, and it's so cute.
And then it started growing.
Yeah.
And then it kept growing. I'm like, wait, we had 100,000 followers. And I was like, I remember getting a video with 1,000 views. And I was like, oh my gosh, 1,000 people viewing my video. I could not even believe it. And then it just kept growing. We had 1 million followers. I was like, and then at that time, my manager, who I have now, reached out. And he was like, I see the potential where this could possibly go. Mm-hmm. And I know that brands would be reaching out to you. I was like, no brands want to work with us. Like,
what?
No one wants to work with. No one's ever asked to reach out. No one has ever asked to work with us. And I was like, I don't see that. And he's like, I'm telling you what I see.
Yeah.
And he's like, he told me how pay works and all that. So I said, well, if I don't make no money, you can make money. What's the worst that can happen? I make money.
Right.
And then we went viral. There was a big viral video between my dad and my daughter.
Yep,
where she was
my
saying
favorite
the goodbye.
video. She said
that
bye.
Had like 70 million views. It's the craziest thing. And I remember posting it because I'm like, I almost didn't post it. I had it in my stories. But it was so many comments on it. I was like, oh, let me just share because that was a really cute moment. I literally go to the grocery store. I come back. I'm like, 1 million views in like an hour. I was like, oh, wait. And then it just kept growing. And it just kept growing. And it became this thing. And then the Lord knows. Then it's like, now the brands want to work. Thank God that my manager had reached out. So I was already ready for it.
You were prepared for your blessing, honey.
The Lord worked it all out. So it was just really for fun. It wasn't really for anything. I didn't know. I tell people all the time, I did not know. And I know a lot of people go into social media now because they want to make money.
But back in the days, I said that all the time too. I had no clue you could make a dime from social media. No. I actually didn't start making money from social media until 2023, believe it or not.
Really?
Because I didn't post. I started posting. See, I did pageants, so I had a social media presence. Pageant girl Shanse had a presence.
Oh, I didn't know.
But as far as posting, like my first TikTok that I ever made was actually deleted at like 100K. No idea why. It was just deleted. And I was like, cool. I wasn't making money from it anyways.
Didn't matter.
I just made another one. But I think I posted until 2023 is when maybe 2022 end of there. And I think I just actually recently looked at, I write things down. I have a calendar and I had written down brand deals that I had at the time. And I had 3 brand deals. It was Nuke Baby or something like that, Kite Baby and something else. And they paid me like $500 and like $300 was really just...
Yeah, it's like, that's $500.
I was like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, girl. I don't care. That's amazing. But I really started my page strictly because I didn't see the motherhood journey that I was living. I had 3 under 2, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
3 under 2. And I was being almost shunned for needing help from like the mommy groups that I would join in my area. And then I was like, you know what? F it. Like, there's got to be someone else out there who is a mom, who is Black, who realized that the village is not free. They don't have family around.
And that's how it starts.
Exactly. You know, I just want to show another way of motherhood. I want to show Black women that motherhood doesn't have to be this all-consuming, torturous, miserable experience.
You're so tired all the time.
Right. I don't want that to be every Black woman's experience. I want to show them that it could be different. I did not start making money until later. And even then I was like, oh, people make money from this? So it was never.
I love that.
I think now people understand you can make money from social media.
And they're trying because they really want to make money.
But a lot of us who started a few years back, we didn't know.
No.
We were just having fun or had a message. Like you said, you literally said the same thing where it's like, I didn't see the representation of my daughter's hair. I wanted to show that. And I admire people who started to make money. I think that's also a great motivator. But I really do strongly believe in if you want to start social media, you should have more than just a goal of making money.
Yeah.
There are easier, faster ways to make money, honey.
There are.
Social media really ain't it. Speaking of privacy, because we weren't even speaking of it, but now we're speaking of it. How do you manage that? How does that work? You know, how do you go about protecting your daughter's privacy? Because her page was just her. Yeah. How did you feel about when it was getting really big and you're thinking to yourself, okay, her page is getting really big, it's growing really fast. When did that first thought of privacy come in mind?
Until I started watching videos of people saying, like, you're exploiting your kids. Not directly to me, but people saying, like, the people with the social media family, you're exploiting your children. You're doing this. And I had to think, like, wait, am I exploiting my daughter?
Baby, no!
Oh, God, I love my child.
You say daughter.
Right. But then I realized, like, it's all about how you do it. Mm-hmm. So, especially now that she's older, there are times where she'll say, I don't want you to record me doing that.
Absolutely.
Phone down. Yeah. Camera up. I won't post things that she doesn't want me to. Yeah. She has consent.
Absolutely.
And also, I think it's exploiting when you're making money from your kids on these platforms and you're not paying them.
Hello.
What's the difference between, this is my perspective, her making a video for, let's just say Disney. We did the Disney cruise. Yeah. Her making a video for Disney and we're doing it at home. Then her going to a studio at Disney and making an ad.
Not much.
The only difference, the only way it would be exploiting if she's doing it in my house and she's not getting paid.
That part.
She understands that when she does certain things that she is making money doing it. And she knows that she has a financial advisor. And that she has her own business account. She has her own accounts that we don't show her because if you show her the money,
you can't show
she's going to be telling people how much money she got.
Kids tell people everything.
They tell everything.
My son literally just told his friend, he has a little fake piggy bank, right? Not his real money, just like to teach him about credit card. He goes, I got $80 in my bank.
Yeah, we don't tell them how much money they make. No. So I think that is, for us, is the biggest difference in even understanding, like, knowing when to stop and making sure that all the content is not revolve around her anymore.
Yeah.
So now it does have the Cammy Fro Babe, but it's more of Cammy in family.
I love that.
So that the content can be like us traveling or new outfits that we're trying on or cooking together, where it's not just about her just living her life. Because what if one day she doesn't want us to show her living her life, right?
Then what?
And that's another reason why I started Simply Colette brand, which is completely separate from her, is because what if one day she's like, I don't want to do any more ads. I don't make any more videos. And you should see, oh my God, there were times when she was younger. Mama, make my video. Come make my video. Come make my video. Yeah. We're not there anymore. And there's still times where she wants me to take her pictures and videos and all that. But I never wanted her to feel the pressure that her making these videos was providing for our family.
Absolutely.
And I used to get that in the beginning. It's like, I'm sure, I remember this lady, she went off on me in the comments. She was like, I hate that Cammy has to make these videos to pay y'all's bills. And I was like, actually, what you don't know is her family is self-employed. We actually hire people and we help pay their bills. Separate from what you see here. And they're like, oh, so sorry, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
You didn't.
You did, and that's okay. And now, does it happen a lot?
Yeah.
Yes.
It does.
And these families, if the child doesn't work, there's no money. Yeah. We don't operate that way.
I think I get asked that question a lot. Like, are you ever afraid of like exploiting your kids? No, number one. It's not about them. I always say my kids.
Your content is focused around you.
I always say my kids and my husband are supporting characters in my world. Yes. I am sharing with you my life as a mom, as a wife, as Shansay, and then my kids are part of that. So you're going to see them. You're going to see glimpses of them. You're going to see them. But it ain't about them, folks. Now, I will say when I first started creating content, I'm a twin mom. My first video that ever went viral was the one of me finding out I'm having twins. There was a lot of brands and a lot of news media who wanted to feature the girls specifically. They wanted the girls. People are obsessed with twins. Don't let it be identical twins. I'm talking obsessed. Now, if you know my daughters, they ain't about the camera. No. They've never been about it, and they don't like it. My daughters are also on the spectrum, which means they're strict as strict. They don't play that. A no is a no. And one thing I always talk about the power of no in our house. No is no. Yes. They're extremely smart, which means they were aware of the camera and what it is before even my 6-year-old was, my older son was. So specifically, like with Afia, she would just, when she couldn't say no, she would say no. And this is not even content, just me taking a picture of her. She would say no. So I've always known they don't like the camera. So very early on, it was like, nope, it can't be focused on my daughter. No campaigns with just my daughters. I remember I got a campaign offer, and I, at the time, was pretty new to content. So this was a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. Yeah. I was even in awe of the amount of money they were offering, throwing at me. And they just wanted my daughter to try on a bunch of dresses. And he was with, I think, Burlington. Nice. And I specifically said, I cannot guarantee my daughters will be in any of these videos, but I would love to show the dresses. And we were going back and forth, and they specifically wanted an angle of the twins. And I had to be like, that's never going to work. Yeah. I would love to show the dresses. I can hold them up. I would love to capture them when they're wearing them naturally, but I will not sit my daughters, have them spin for a camera because I know that's not them. And, they were about to walk. And I said, then you have to walk. And I remember that being just me saying, we have these boundaries in place. Yeah. I understand the boundaries in place. Forcing my kids to do something, never going to happen. Now, my boys put a camera in their face and they're like,
I've seen it in action.
Baby, they love, mommy, real quick. Right? They love a camera. They're all me. And
That's my kids. They love it.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it.
I've been I say things like this all the time in our house. If there's a tripod, I'll be like, what does that mean? They say, Mommy's taking a video. Yeah. I'm like, where does the video go? He goes, internet. What's the internet? The world. That is the simplest way I can put to our kids to understand the internet, which means they know the camera films and it goes to the world, which now is funny because they'll make faces like, make faces at the camera, but they truly get it. And also just limiting the amount of camera time in my house. That's another big part. Not every day. I know for a fact I couldn't be a daily vlogger because I could never handle it. I could never handle a camera being in my kid's face every day.
I don't want a camera being in my face every day.
Also just boundaries, right? We talk about, comments that you get about your kids. So how do you handle all the comments, the emotions that comes with people commenting on your children? Because people often say, if you put it out there, then you're welcoming comments about it, which I have my own thoughts about that. I don't 100% agree because if you couldn't say it to my face, don't say it in my comments. And if you say it in my comments, be prepared to say it in my face. And if you can't, I will cut you You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that video of that lady who somebody made a really rude comment? She drove to his job and was like, "Now say it in my face,"
because people act real funny online.
Real funny online. And you know the crazy thing is, like, we don't get a lot of that. It's either, and it probably goes one or two ways. I probably don't see it because I don't care.
That part.
And I think when you go about it, where it's like, this is for fun.
Yeah. Like girl, we're just having a good time.
This is truly just for fun and just so happened that I can make money doing it.
Exactly.
But if I had no money, there's no money involved, I would still do it.
That part.
So when it comes to comments, I see some things because people are racist, people are rude, but it's easy as a delete. And
Hello.
I not that I don't care.
Same.
But it's not. You're not even, I don't even know. You don't know me. And,
you don't know
and
nothing.
Social media is not real. This is not a real place. I don't care what nobody says. The problem I think a lot of people have is they are so transparent.
Oh.
And they give so much of their life. So that when people come back with a rude comment or something, they're so offended. I can't be offended because this is not even a real place.
The truth is, I say that all the time. I won't share it unless I am able to receive hate comments, nice comments, suggestions, recommendations, because all of that is a possibility.
Absolutely.
So trust and believe, I will not share it unless I am comfortable receiving it. And if I'm currently going through it, you will never know.
Never know. And I'm naturally overshare. I overshare.
Really?
I overshare.
Oh, I am an undersharer. Girl, I don't share.
You're not.
You would think I'm an oversharer. I'm not
talking about social media. I'm talking about in general.
Oh, in general, if you know me, it depends on the topic.
Okay, so I feel like in general, I think but I don't think that you overshare. You have overshared to me, but I feel like you share openly.
I share openly with the people that I trust and know.
Right.
It just depends on the topic. I think I've had to work on being more open and people ask me this all the time. I am extremely PR trained. I don't know how to say that in a nice way.
Oh, see, I
did pageants for 3 years. We had a lot of PR training politically. I'm also a politician at heart. I worked for Congress for years.
So you know.
I've worked for a law firm. I've worked in the most secure field. I've worked in the nuclear field. I am extremely PR trained. I have been on the back end seeing how politicians talk. I've been there when they're writing the script. I can tell you something without telling you a goddamn thing. It's my job, baby. I'm really good at it. And I'm saying that because people often think I'm extremely open. I'm really not. When it comes to my content,
your content, I feel like you share based on the need. Like if you see a need.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
You got me. I think it's really interesting because I learned very early on. I'm trying to say this without sounding like it's like a manipulative thing.
Just say it.
But I'm going to make you feel like you're so close to me without you never knowing a simple thing about me. And there's a formula, right? They used to give us to us for a pageant. And in debate, I'm going to make you care by starting off with a personal story. After I give you the personal story, I'm going to tell you what I really want you to take from the story. It's guiding the conversation, right? For a minute, people would absolutely tell you, yeah, I know Shanse. But then ask yourself, what do you know about me? You might know my age. You might know my name. You think you do. You might know where I'm from. But truly, when you meet me in real life, like you know me personally, how much of what you know about me personally you would say you were able to connect on social media?
Right. Yeah. There's a few things. Even when I met you and met your kids, I was like, I had no clue.
Yeah.
And I thought that I knew you from social media.
Exactly.
But even though you are the same person, and don't get it twisted, you're the same person online. She's the same person online that she is in person. But you don't give it all up.
No.
And you shouldn't give it all up.
No. And I think that's why people mistake about social media. They think they know everything. They think they're supposed to. I think it's an art form, right? There's an art to making sure people know exactly what they need to guide them into what you want them to take away. And by that, I mean, I have a goal. I have exactly what I want you to take away from my page. My takeaway that I want you to have from my page is, one, how to balance motherhood, marriage, and self-care. That is it.
Absolutely.
And if something doesn't fall under that category, you're not going to hear about it. Now, that shows up in very many different ways. Maybe it's a vlog. Like, maybe it's a vlog of me going on a staycation because I've seen so many women say I'm burnt out. And it's just me showing you how not to be burnt out.
Right.
Maybe it's me having a conversation with my husband about how we balance work. Whatever it is, it's just finding a way to show people what I want them to see by being honest and truthful without sharing my whole life.
You're so good at it, too. You're so
Girl,
good at
that
it.
little training will do that.
Like, I'm not trained. I just be like,
She said, No, but you know what? Nah, stop playing. You're good.
But I've had to learn. I don't want to regret anything that I say.
Yep.
I don't want anything to come back and 10 years from now, my daughter's like, Mommy, I didn't know this. So no, you ain't never gonna go online and find that out about
Absolutely
me.
not.
So I've had to learn, and that people, there's so much power in the oversharing though, because the compassion you get, people feel like they're connected to you. You ain't.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it because it's not.
It's not worth it.
Place.
No, and on top of that too, you think it's compassion. Sometimes it's just people wanting a little. I feel better. My favorite thing that happens is when couples break up and it's like, see. Couples aren't really happy. Baby, a lot of them are happier.
Yeah. We don't have to show it on the internet.
Exactly.
You don't have to show it on the internet.
It's people who say things like, oh my God, see, I told you. That should make you know that you're oversharing. It is not worth it. Your vulnerability is not always something you want to give online. And I'm not saying, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying don't be vulnerable online. Yeah. I'm not saying protect your vulnerability because it's not worth it. It's not worth a check. Absolutely be vulnerable where it matters, where you feel you can handle the feedback. But vulnerability, them people want to laugh at you. They want to send you on the group chat. And you know what? And maybe that doesn't matter. And that's fine. And I'm not saying I'm not vulnerable online. I have my moments.
Yeah, but not to where it's like to your defeat.
Not
it's
really.
Not to.
No.
It won't put you down. Like no one will ever know if something's wrong with my marriage. No one will ever know there's something happening with my kids. You won't ever know.
And people expect to know that.
No, because it's not really your business.
It's not your business.
Just laugh at the video of them dancing.
Have fun, girl. Learn a little something. Have a little fun.
I can teach you how to braid some hair.
And I always say that I'm like, when I come online, when it comes to marriage, we just be having fun. Like we just be having fun. If you see my husband in a video, we were having a blast. And
he's wonderful.
Yo, isn't he the
wonderful.
best?
He is.
That dude is funny as hell.
He
promise
really
you guys, if you met Julian, you would laugh so much. Yeah. He really,
I know firsthand.
Right. He's just funny. Like and if there's a video, I promise you, we probably just had a good time and filmed it. Like it's never that serious to where I would want to be sharing details about my marriage. That's never going to happen. And it shouldn't happen. And people confuse that for saying, well, then maybe something is wrong. If that's what you think it.
Listen, it's funny you say that because I had someone comment, because my husband is camera shy. He does not like being on the camera. He does not like, someone was like, well, we know that your husband hates that you do this because he's never involved. And I'm like, my husband is camera shy. He doesn't like to be on the camera. So why, as his wife, I'm going to tell you got to make this video with me so we can get views. And that's the reason why you see all this turmoil going on right now.
Girl.
Sometimes we're forcing people to do things they don't actually want to do.
Hello.
We're doing it for views. We're doing it for whatever. But like I said, it's not my reality just because some people don't really like being on the camera. So I'm not going to make him do that for views.
And honestly, I talk about that all the time. It's never, when you have to force someone to do something, you won't even have fun doing it.
No.
You won't even have fun doing it.
We don't live in that world. It's
not
a
real world, bro. Also, I always want to tell people there's nothing about my husband that you've heard out of my mouth that he didn't know that I was going to say.
And if it is, it's uplifting. It's making him feel good.
Exactly. If you ever hear me talk about my husband, he knows. Like, he knows anything about our marriage or relationship that I've shared, which, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. Also, it's content also. Like, there's never a video I filmed that he didn't know there was a camera. Like, I'm hiding it. Girl, please.
That's not real.
That doesn't happen. They know.
Don't care.
It's not real. Like, somebody was asking me, they were like, oh my God, like, because, I make my staycation videos. First of all, my husband knows I'm filming staycation videos. And when he's coming up, I'll be like, are you on your way up? I'm about to put my little camera. I want to catch you walking in. And he
loves that, but that's consent. Why would you record
I would
your
never
husband?
record my husband without his permission.
Yeah, and that's something. I mean, I love social media. I think it's great. I think it's so much fun.
I think it's so fun.
But you have to, like we talked about the business, the marriage, the family, that comes before all. It comes before views. It comes before social media, because a lot of it's not real. That money you can make back. You can build another page. You can build a whole nother life. But you can't get that man back, and you can't get them kids back. That's what's important.
And you mentioned just like putting your marriage first. I wanted to ask you something. In your marriage, right? You're both business owners working from home. How do you guys go about balancing the chores, right? The day-to-day, the division of labor in your marriage as business owners? How does that work? Because both of you are equally working.
We're so busy. So when I got married and had my daughter, I was like, I'm going to cook. I'm going to clean all the laundry.
Oh.
And then after 3 months, I was like, I can't do this. I'm gonna how do people do this? Because you grow up with like your grandma doing all of it or your mama doing all of it. Well, maybe not you, but
not my mama. Her
yeah,
that lady ain't do shit.
Right. Well,
Love you, mommy, but girl.
But you're used to seeing like where the woman is just always just so busy, and especially being a stay-at-home mom, you're just expected to do all that. But then now having a business, I remember me and my husband, we would split the chores in the house, and then he was like, actually, our time would be better spent working than cleaning. We're hiring a cleaning service.
Oh, we love a man who hires.
Actually, that's a great idea.
Hire help.
And then the laundry. I'm like, we always buy laundry because we're really busy this month.
Yeah.
Hire laundry
I know
service.
that's right, honey.
When
Speaking my language.
I was pregnant with my son, and I had a hard time, like, because I'm the only one that cooks in the house. And I'm fine with that because I don't pay no bills. So it's just, you can exchange the work, whatever. So, and I was struggling. I had a hard time. Hire someone to cook.
Hey!
You have to outsource. And that's why, take this how you want. Do not marry broke.
Hello! I've always said money.
Broke is a mentality.
And money.
And money, too. and honestly, these were all his ideas. I assumed that that's just the things that I was supposed to do. But then he's like,
that's true. Most of the time we do that.
Outsource it. And we outsource a lot of things.
But how about the invisible labor? I know a lot of people constantly don't, we don't always refer to the invisible labor enough. We need to talk about it more, but how does the invisible labor work? You're both business owners. Yeah. That must be something you can't outsource invisible labor.
No, you can't, but you are in a partnership. So I am not a single married mother.
Tell them.
There's a lot of single, did I say that right?
Single married women. Yes,
single
girl.
Married women. There are a lot of those out there. I'm not one of those. Now, because I am the mother, it is a lot more responsibility on me where it's like appointments and clothes and all the random things. But then also, who makes lunches every day? My husband. Who takes them to school, picks them up from school? My husband.
That part.
He does all the stuff with school. So he homeschools my daughter part-time.
Amen.
So there are certain things that I don't do that he does.
Yeah.
And things that I do better. Like, he doesn't like to cook. So I'm going to make you cook because, it's just certain things
it's equity and equity. I talk about that all the time. There's a difference.
There's a big difference. So I struggle with, and then I still have my struggles. Don't get it twisted because I'm still learning and growing and all that. I'm learning that I don't have to do it by myself. Because if I do it by myself, why would I be married to you?
Okay.
So it's invisible until you
why are you
say
here?
Something. So it may be invisible, but I've had to learn just like to speak up and be like, I'm really struggling with X, Y, and Z. But not wait until I'm like having a mental breakdown.
I love that. And I think you guys know I love a little research around here. And I want to specifically focus on the invisible labor. A lot of people don't know what that is. Or they say, well, the invisible labor is not real. Rather, they will ignore it because it's something that mostly women would refer to or women will carry. The invisible labor is all the little things that go behind the screen that women have to think about. It's like an invisible checklist on your mind. It's not just packing the lunch. It's thinking about what kind of lunch should I pack. It's thinking about what do we have in the fridge. It's thinking about what allergies do my kids have. It's thinking about if they had waffles for breakfast, maybe they need greens for lunch. It is all the little things that you have to go to before you get to packing lunch. It's not about driving the kids to doctor's appointment. Invisible labor is about knowing when the appointment is, scheduling the appointment, knowing what kind of checkups they're having, knowing if they're going to get shots and if those shots are going to make him sick, having Tylenol ready for them because they're going to have a fever. Invisible labor is knowing that after the appointment, they can't go to their play date because of this, scheduling the play date. It's all of that little checklist that almost go unnoticed, right? Invisible labor is called invisible because you don't see it. You just see the end result. But sometimes what's leading up to the end result is really what drives so many people and so many women into exhaustion, right? The survey I want to talk about today was published by the National Center of Biotechnology, and the survey found that 71% of women still perform more invisible labor in their household, even when both partners are working. So Colette, you are in a situation where you're lucky, and I don't want to say lucky because a lot of women deserve this, but you're lucky enough to have a partner who not only respects your time enough to be a partner where you're not handling all the invisible labor, but 71% of women are working full-time jobs and still handling the invisible labor in their household. And this is just invisible labor. We're not even talking about the labor in general. The reason we're focusing on invisible labor is because it's often ignored, and it has been the leading cause for a lot of women having a breakdown, because imagine all the things you have to do, but they're unseen, unacknowledged. And in fact, like you said, some people don't even know they're there. I love what you said about sometimes it's communicating these invisible labors. And before you say it, I understand we shouldn't have to, but we are working with the world we live in, not the world we wish was. Yes, in the perfect world, every single man would know exactly what these are, but a lot of our men grew up in a society where...
But why would we expect them to know? Like, how would we expect them to know the things that... Like it's in it, and now it bothers me. Like, do I lose sleep about certain things? Yes, but if I can't wake up in the middle of the night or wake up next morning and say, "Hey, there's 20 things that have to get done."
Mm-hmm.
There's invisible labor, in my head. But if I can get 10 and you can get 10,
teamwork.
Is it invisible?
Not no more, girl. You see it, and I think there is a certain amount of learning that comes with everything, especially parenting. The issue that I've always seen is that we women are told we're supposed to know all of it. Like, you should just know how to do this. So when we have kids, we try to know all of it, right? We try to pretend we do. We try to not pretend there's a learning curve there. And then our partners feel like, well, girl, I ain't even supposed to know any of this. I'm a man. So I'm just, I don't know. You better at it. If you're a new mom or a new parent or newlywed, you're not his teacher. You're not his mother. Don't teach him. Let him learn by doing. I cannot stress that enough. Let him learn by doing. Own whatever it is he's doing. Let him own it. Let him make mistakes, because you do too. Yeah. I think there wouldn't be such a huge, and again, with the context of society is what it is, right, but there wouldn't be such a huge disparity in this invisible labor and women taking care of so much of it if we let them people do what the hell they was going to do. Yeah. Let that man learn, girl.
But who says, because like my husband, every night he cleans the kitchen, he makes sure everything is straight. Yeah. And you would think because like most women, you're supposed to keep the house clean. Says who? Who says you're supposed to keep the kitchen clean?
Hello?
Why do I have to be the only one to keep the kitchen
clean? Hello? Am I the only one in this kitchen every day?
I don't cook. You clean, and it's a trade-off. It's always a trade-off, and it's also like a partnership. Yeah, you're doing things together, and just because you're the husband, I heard like one guy was like, "I don't like changing my kid's diaper." Well, don't have no kids.
That's creepy.
Don't have no kids. If you can't change your diaper, don't have no kids.
Like, what do you think was gonna happen? That's because
and women are okay with it. Well, I'll do it. No. And but also one thing I will say. You have to communicate that before. So a lot of things that part of the reason why I am in my life right now, I feel like, is because we made it very well known what we wanted and what we were expecting before we even got married, before we had kids. Yep. You have to let it be known.
Because if you're not going to ahead of time set that expectation, and I'm not saying you shouldn't change your mind, because like you were saying, we first got married, I was like, I got it. Then 2 months later, I said, I don't have it. I've never got it. I will never get it. It will never be gotten. Excuse me? Raise a human?
It's so hard.
Who said that? I had to learn. And you can change your mind, but there are certain expectations. I always joke and say my husband had no idea I could cook until we got engaged, because I wanted him to know from the very early on, I'm not the cooking type. I'm an occasional cooker. I will throw down on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, on a special occasion, but you think you will get a full day of meal out of me, a 5-course meal? You are mistaken. That was never me, never. And at the beginning, I wasn't out there cooking and shit, because I didn't want him to think he gonna get I'm serious. Never gonna get a food. And it had nothing to do with the whole like, don't do wifey thing for a man. I didn't give a damn if he was my husband or not. I just don't like cooking. People are like, oh, was that because you wanted to hold up? I wasn't holding up for marriage, because now I'm married. You think he's getting full meals every day.
Right. But also, one thing I've learned with dating, and I'll just put this in here, is like we date based on or we show up based on what we think the person wants and not ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
It happens so much. And then when you get married, it's like, actually, I'm not even like this. I don't even like to cook. Nah. But you show up because he told you that he loves a woman that can cook.
And then you started becoming a woman
and then you married. Now where did these 3 months stay at?
He did tell me that. And I said, oh, that's interesting.
You show up as yourself. And if he loves, and that's one thing I did with my husband. I was like, if he either gonna love it
or he gonna hate it.
And if he hate it, just move on.
Thank you.
And girl, he loved it. And girl, he stayed.
Girl, you're gonna get what you go. And people are always like, oh, how did your husband feel about this? Girl, he knew what this was.
Right.
That man was not surprised by a thing.
If anything, they support it. They love it.
They love
want
it.
You to be
girl, he loves it here.
Yeah.
They are exactly where they want to be. I promise you. They're exactly where they want to be because from the very beginning.
You were yourself.
I was myself. He met me literally living a very big life, so he knew that was never gonna change. I say this all the time, where when I met my husband, not only was I, in my dream program, I was doing pageant, I was running a nonprofit, I was already in a social media, like not social media, but media.
Yeah.
I was doing events, hosting events every week. My time was so limited that we always had to schedule time together. That's not new. Now I'm a mom. I got things to do, sir. You wanna see me? Get on my calendar. Get on my calendar. Ask for dates.
Busy.
Right. I'm a busy girl.
And you thrive in that.
Okay.
And I think because he married you for that, he understands that
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not going to be like, actually, I don't like that you go out a lot. Well, when you met me, I was always out. So now you
I
don't
be
go out
now.
anymore?
I be now. Now, in fact, you support it because you take me out. Now we're both outside. It's just like we're both outside. And my thing is, he often says, he's like, yeah, nothing has changed yet. Everything has changed. It's just in different fonts.
Absolutely.
We
It's the
live
same.
in-
who you
yeah.
date, who you're dating is who you're gonna marry.
Baby,
it's the same person.
think of it
It's
that
the same
way.
person.
Yeah.
I mean, you grow up. Like I matured over the years. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I am different, but I'm exactly
The same. In a different font. I say it all the time.
I like that different font.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like you're the same in a different font.
I like
Same
that.
shit. So you marry exactly who you're going to end up with, and you should date the person that you want to marry. Like, don't think because you get married, things are going to change.
It's not gonna change.
He going to be who he is. Speaking of change, girl, it wouldn't be me if it's not a little messy. I want your hot take. What would you say is your hot take when it comes to motherhood, marriage, and self-care, especially as a business owner, as a content creator? What is your hot take?
Don't be ashamed to have the help that you need. And don't be
Amen.
ashamed to have the nanny.
Okay.
Embarrassed. I don't know why in the beginning when I had like somebody cleaning my house and doing the laundry, I was like, oh, I don't want to tell somebody. I don't want them to think
Girl, me
differently.
too.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't apologize for having the nanny. Don't apologize for having someone come clean your house. Don't apologize. You deserve the help.
Amen.
You need the help. If you want to be the best version of yourself, it's going to come by having the help. And not everyone has the village or the family or whatever. Make the money. Use that money. Outsource the help that you need. And don't feel guilty about it.
No, there's no guilt. I will tell you.
I used to.
I felt
I don't
guilty.
know, is that weird?
No, I did too. I really did too. I think the first few times I felt guilty, but then it just hit me and I was like, girl, you know damn well you love it here. I was like, girl, stop playing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, no one's going to change my mind.
But I think a lot of it had to do with like me feeling like I was supposed to be able to do those things.
Me too.
And because I couldn't do those things and I needed the help,
Yeah.
I felt some type of way
Yeah.
about it. But I
think
like,
it's also becoming comfortable with yourself as a mom. Understanding your value as a mom helps a lot because I understand my value as a mother doesn't lie on how much laundry I can do, how many dishes I can make, how many good food I can make them.
But I used to think that. I used to put my worth on like what I can get done, what I'm doing with my kids. And that made me feel like I was a good mom. It was worth me having something nice. Well, you work so hard in the house. And you deserve nice things because you deserve to have nice things. And
for me, working hard now looks very different. Being a good mom looks very different. My definition of a good mom has shifted and changed so much. It really is how I show up for my kids. Yes. It really is how much guidance I can give them, how much of my time I can give them, how much time we can play together, how many experiences we can have together, and how, quite frankly, how much of a safe space I can be for them. And I can't do that if I'm not even a safe space for myself. If I'm not emotionally regulated. People often ask me like, oh, how are you so patient? I'm actually not the most patient person on the planet. If you know me, you know I want it when I want it. I got it when I got it. Like I don't like waiting. But
with
patience,
your kids, you are.
Girl, with my kids is because I've learned to be in a space where I can handle it. I can handle the big emotions because my emotions are cool. I've taken the time I need to make sure I'm personally regulated. I've taken the help I need to learn how to regulate my own emotions. So when they come to me, I'm cool, girl. Like, go ahead.
But you can only be like that and zen with the help. And I've learned that, like, why I'm always so frustrated. Why it's always...
You're tired, girl. You're sleepy,
all the
girl.
Time, and I'm like, I'm snapping at my kids.
You're tired.
Well, you're snapping at your kids because you're exhausted from doing all these things all day long. And then, like, now you got to be a mother. And then now you got to be a wife.
And talk about being a wife. I'm not about a wife when I'm tired either.
Who want to do any of those things?
Hello?
And also I think back to, like, when I was single and I didn't have no kids and it was just me. I loved that life.
Hello?
I love that life.
We ain't gonna lie about it. We know.
It was great. Now, this part is great too, but it's even greater with the help.
You feel me? Yeah. That's really where... How do you enjoy motherhood? Girl, I'm having a ball. I got a little help. Help, bro.
I'm telling you.
Get some help.
It is. And
get some help.
And I hope that it sets a good example for my daughter too.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, of course, I plan to be there. I mean, I don't know where she's going to be in
like,
her
girl,
life.
I'll be here.
But I want her to see that, like, you're not supposed to do it by yourself.
No.
And if you don't have people, you don't have the village to come in to help and clean
it.
You have to pay for it.
You do.
And that's okay.
And also teaching them to value those things. Just looking, my mom had to pay, whatever $1,000 to get this service. And you think I'm supposed to give you all this labor for free with not even a thank you? Pardon?
And you think you're going to marry me
to give you free labor? It's teaching them. And I think that's a huge thing our generation is doing when we talk about outsourcing that people don't even connect. It's that we are putting value to all the free labor people have been taking from women. Hello?
I didn't even think about that.
Okay, we are putting so much value into all this free labor because previously it was expected of me to be the cook, to be the nanny, to be the educator in my household, to be this. But now that you're paying for it, your sons are growing up watching their father pay for it. So if a woman was to come into their life, she's doing this for free. Thank you so much. That's an expensive labor. Yeah. Not you're supposed to as a woman. As a woman, I'm your partner.
Your partner.
I'm here to provide companionship. That is the only free thing anything else on top of that?
And also, like, have peace. And also be as like, and that's one thing. When I first started following you, that's when I learned about you had a video about the village, about paying for the village, and me and my husband had just started with, like, having someone come clean the house and things like that, and I was like, finally someone has said it, because no one talks about that for some reason. I don't know why.
Because it's like people
like taboo,
it's like when people shun you for it, girl. They be in them comments mad at me. And I'd be there, and I'd be there like, look at me scrolling right now, sitting on my couch eating chips, and you're mad while you're mopping. Susan, it's giving hater. Like,
absolutely
girl,
giving hater.
Hello.
Yeah.
So it's like,
if anything, it should inspire people that, like, especially if you're single or if you're a mother, and, like, you just never know. You can move things around. Do you need a new purse, or do you need someone to clean your house? Do you need to go on private vacation a year, or do you use one of the vacations that
literally
you just have to figure it out. You don't have to be
No.
rich. You do not have to be rich
You really
to be able
don't.
to outsource labor.
And I think on our first episode, we shared a lot of, easy, and I'm talking about easy and effective ways to get the help you need without spending a bank and breaking an arm and a leg. And I really just want to say, a lot of women who think they couldn't afford it haven't really looked into it.
Because they think it's too expensive.
They think it's too expensive.
It's not. It's affordable.
Listen, I just want to tell y'all something. Me and Colette can be out here yapping with y'all for days, honey. We got stories. But I do want Colette to give you a little homework. If a woman is listening today and maybe they consider going on into business with their partner, what would be some things you want them to do? What is like a homework almost that you can give them? Say, okay, these are the things I would want you to keep in mind before going into business with your partner.
So before going into any business with anyone, especially your husband, you have to make sure that the goal that you have is similar. So you can't go into it with, like, my goal is to make $1 million, and then his goal is to make $100,000. You have to make sure the goals are aligned, because if the goals are not aligned, you're going to constantly be in conflict.
Yeah.
So for us, it was more just about something that could potentially create financial freedom for us, something that we would love to do, something that would be fun and create wealth, right? Now, wealth could be $10,000, wealth can be $100,000. And as we grew, the goals were still the same. So if you're doing anything, and also like you have to be able to be yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't go into a partnership and give what you can offer and be yourself, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make it even harder. So I would always have everything written down, make sure your goals are aligned before you do anything, and support. If you can't support them when the times are really tough or when times are really high, and you know one thing I've learned too, jealousy. There can be so much jealousy when one partner is doing well.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you have to be very. I mean, not in my house. Cause
She's not around here,
we all
girl.
winning. We all winning.
You
but
win,
in
I
some
win.
relationships,
Yeah.
you have to make sure that it's very important that. And I think if you keep your goals aligned, there is never any of those because you're all on the same page.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Do your due diligence. Make sure you know what you want to do. But if you can communicate effectively and have those goals aligned.
I love that. Y'all heard it. Go make those goals together, but make sure they're aligned, honey.
Gotta be aligned.
I really love that I just got an opportunity to chat with you because I feel like you just have so much wealth of knowledge. You have so much to give us girls, and I feel like you might need to have to come back.
I will come back.
You have to come back.
We
Like,
have some wine next time, girl.
I love
make it.
I love cha-cha. I love brunch. I love brunch and sip and talk. Because we be out here for 3 hours, honey.
We'll be here all day talking about.
And the time will be had. I love it. If you guys do not follow Colette, I'm going to put her socials here. Obviously, you do. Duh. Who doesn't, right? Hello, who doesn't? I absolutely love her content. I think you'll have a really good time. And I want to also just say, this is exactly who you're going to get. Like, Colette's personality is amazing. You have a really amazing way of just like showing you who you are.
Thank you.
And being so authentic. And that's probably what I enjoy most about your content, to be honest. It's just like, you're going to get her. Okay, and obviously, Cami Fro Baby and her cute self. And oh my God, Cam.
Oh, he is something.
That boy's my favorite. I don't know, girl.
You be
He's
side-eye?
just, girl, was it like our kids were at the airport together and them little folks was throwing. They were just
all over the place.
Just, they're a vibe. I love it so much. And I just want to thank you again so much for coming to Selfish Parenting. We loved having you
Thank you
here.
for having me.
We loved hearing about y'all's little cute self. No, it's been so fun. And I really just enjoy talking to you, the different perspective. I know people are going to have questions if you have them. Drop them in the comments. Let her know. She's always in the comments answering, which another thing I really love about her. And if you're new here, thank you for joining Selfish Parenting. If you're not, definitely clock back in. We'll be back with more episodes. Don't forget to follow, comment, all the good stuff. And I'm so thankful to have you and to have this space. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.